नमस्कार, म सज्जु महर्जन, म एक किशोरी। म पनि रेडियो कार्यक्रम सञ्चालनको नेतृत्व लिन सक्छु र आफ्ना प्रश्न आफै सोध्न सक्छु। सीआईएनको कार्यक्रम जीवन रक्षा बाल सुरक्षाको विशेष भागमा तपाईलाई हार्दिक स्वागत छ। देशभरिका विभिन्न सामुदायिक रेडियो सीआईएन network.org र मोबाइल एप्स एकुर सीआईएनबाट एकैसाथ तपाईँ यति बेला कार्यक्रम जीवन रक्षा बाल सुरक्षाको विशेष भाग सुनिरहनु भएको छ। प्लान इन्टरनेशनल नेपाल र सामुदायिक रेडियो प्रसारक संघको संयोजन र हामी किशोरीहरूको संलग्नतामा यो विशेष कार्यक्रम तयार पारिएको हो। आज अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बालिका दिवस विश्वभरि विभिन्न कार्यक्रम गरेर मनाइँदैछ। बालिका दिवस मनाउने सन्दर्भमा नेपालमा हामी किशोरीहरू आफ्नो सवालमा छलफल गर्दैछौं। सुरुमा बालिका दिवसको अवसरमा तपाईँ सम्पूर्णलाई धेरै धेरै शुभकामना छ। अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बालिका दिवसका अवसरमा विश्वभरि किशोरीहरूको नेतृत्वका कार्यक्रम अर्थात् गर्ल्स टेकओभर गर्ने कार्यक्रम अन्तर्गत नेपालका 300 सामुदायिक रेडियोहरूमा आज हामी किशोरीहरूले कार्यक्रम सञ्चालनको नेतृत्व गर्न पाउँदा गर्व लागेको छ। टेक ओभर अन रेडियो अन्तर्गतको यो विशेष संवादमा आज हामी किशोरीहरूकै सवालमा स्थानीय जनप्रतिनिधि, सरकारी अधिकारी र किशोरी तथा महिलाको हक अधिकारका लागि काम गर्दै आएका सरोकारवालासँग कुराकानी गर्दैछौं। किशोरीहरूको सवालमा छलफल गर्न आज सीआईएनको स्टुडियोमा भने प्लान इन्टरनेशनल नेपालका राष्ट्रिय निर्देशक स्पेन कोपेन्स, ह्युमन राइट्स र हातविनका चेयरपर्सन अञ्जना शाक्य र प्लान इन्टरनेशनल नर्वेका सिइओ चेल एरिक हुनुहुन्छ। आजको छलफल चाहिँ हामी अंग्रेजी भाषामा सञ्चालन गर्दैछौँ। Welcome to the program. Today we have 3 guests in our CIN office studio. So the guests are the country director of Plan International Nepal, Spen Kopens, the chairperson of Human Rights and Atwin, Anjana Shakya, and the CEO of Plan International Norway, Kjell Erik. So welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll start with the first question with Mr. Spen Kopens. So the first question is, can you give us the gist idea on what takeover is and what is the main purpose of this event?
Okay. The main purpose of this event is, of course, to ask attention from the general public, from policymakers, from activists, from everybody concerned with children's rights, that to basically ask attention to the particular plight of girls in Nepal, but also globally. This takeover is taking place in over 60 countries in the world, so not just only in Nepal, in different forms. And what we want to achieve here is that it's not just organizations like us or actors asking for attention for girls' rights. It is actually girls themselves who are able to be active and share their active voice with the public, with policymakers, but also to come to a particular commitment that policymakers and actors all around the world also make particular commitments on advancing girls' rights further in the future within the area that they are responsible for.
Thank you. So Anjana ma'am, how can these events can bring change in the lives of girls?
I think when there is a lot of activity, usually how people see it is girls as timid and obedient and who doesn't have voice, who are not confident. But I think with programs which are directly directed to the girls, I have seen leadership change. I have seen girls from being very quiet and timid to very vociferous and articulate and very self-confident and taking it. Whatever issues they are facing, they are able to take it, raise it with the policymakers. So I think that's where people need to understand that if given opportunity, given the platform, given some training, girls can take leadership roles, and girls should have the voices, whether it's in planning and policies, whether it's in their family, whether it's in community, in all spaces.
So, sir, so this program is taking over in different countries. So, how is this takeover is different from other countries compared to Nepal?
Well, I think in many ways it's very similar, and I think it's important that it happens all over the world because the lack of rights of girls are actually happening in many countries, most countries. So in a way, the fact that we are doing it in many countries and internationally shows the world that, first of all, that girls can do it in every country, that girls stand together. And I think the most important part of this is actually to lift up the girls themselves, the girls like you, girls that are actually taking over, showing that girls in power is not only a possibility, opportunity, it's a right, it's good for society. And in Norway we do similar things like you do here in Nepal. We have a girl that has taken over for the Minister of Children and Gender Equality. We have also a girl who has taken over for the CEO of the National Broadcasting Association of Norway. So the things happening are very similar. Of course, the situations are different in different countries and you need to adjust to your country. But I think the overall picture is that this is an international challenge and it needs to be solved internationally.
Thank you. Spencer, in Nepal we have different issues which are totally different from other countries, such as like Thaupadi system and dowry system, witchcraft. So how is Plan International Nepal working to solve these problems?
I think the biggest focus of us is providing space, opportunity to girls themselves to actually become these agents of change in their communities. We can all jointly analyze some of the issue, and you mentioned a couple of them. But as long as we don't provide that opportunity of activism, of being that positive voice within a community, within your own lives, I think a lot can be done for, but it cannot work. It's not real empowerment. Empowerment is not just other people doing things for particular beneficiaries. Empowerment is basically allowing space, allowing opportunity to make changes in your own lives, in your own communities, and in the norms. And what we hope to achieve with that, of course, is that normative change. We want to change social norms about gender, social norms about equality, and thereby hope that a lot of the phenomena that you actually were mentioning will disappear by themselves.
Thank you. So in Nepal, the girls living in rural areas are more vulnerable, and so Plan International brought out any programs for targeting to the girls of rural areas?
Yes, yeah. We have a variety of programs, be they in the education sector, in the livelihood sector, etc. I think what is important in our programs is two things: is that we combine asset development. So giving girls, whether they're in school or out of schools, not just the skills to deal with life and life choices, but also to allow them to actually gain assets, and get control over assets. That's a very important thing. And that combined with capacity development and with leadership development. I think these two together are the main components to really have a program in place and projects in place that are transforming society. And I think that's our challenge, but also our ambition as an organization, is to have these projects that really transform power relationship, because gender inequality is about power and something that has gone wrong with power. Having our programs aiming to tackle that is the ambition that we have as an organization, working with girls like you, but with girls in Nepal in general.
अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बालिका दिवसका अवसरमा विश्वभरि किशोरीहरूको नेतृत्वका कार्यक्रम अर्थात् गर्ल्स टेक ओभर गर्ने कार्यक्रम अन्तर्गत नेपालका 300 सामुदायिक रेडियोहरूमा आज हामी किशोरीहरूले कार्यक्रम सञ्चालन गरिरहेका छौं। किशोरीहरूको सवालमा छलफल गर्न सीआईएनको स्टुडियोमा प्लान इन्टरनेशनल नेपालका राष्ट्रिय निर्देशक स्पेन कोपेन्स, ह्युमन राइट्स र आत्विनका चेयरपर्सन अञ्जना शाक्य र प्लान इन्टरनेशनल नर्वेका सीईओ जेल एरिक हुनुहुन्छ। आजको छलफल हामीले अंग्रेजी भाषामा सञ्चालन गरिरहेका छौं। So welcome back again after the break. So we will continue our discussion. So Anjana ma'am, can you please share us your experience working in human rights and Atwin, and what kind of issues have you come across and how have you been undertaken these issues?
there are lots, like we have been working with human trafficking, against human trafficking for a long time. This is one of the issues that has come up for a long time, and so we have like done tons of activities. One of the things I really love is really working, producing comic book by the children, by the girls, really raising their own issues, what's happening with their, in their own context, what are the issues they're facing with human trafficking. So also then they bring their own solutions, not us telling them what to do, but them trying to understand and come to consensus that what can be done to prevent it. So these are things I really love, that it's very, very participatory. They decide how to do it. Now, with girl-child consultations, what we have done is like really provided a very girl-child friendly space with no intervention by adults. And that's like, the first thing that it's very interesting, because in 2007 and 2010, I did first and second girl-child consultations. And it was so interesting. The issues that has come up is in both the sessions, the participants were very different, although very diverse from almost throughout the country. Sexual violence, harassment is the first priority they prioritize. And that, I think that's something that we really need to really work together, because it's a very, very difficult issue. The girls themselves only cannot, they can make a difference. They can start being more confident to report it, to say no, but at the same time, it has to be a wider community, not only community, wider society, and government stakeholders who really has to take, direct action. I think those are some things that needs to be done at a larger level, but the girls are really, at least the girls we worked with, making this docudrama called Asmita, the girls who have we have done research, they are more confident, and they have been able to report more. They have been able to talk to the family, friends, and teachers, and hopefully that will really result in the cases that legal cases, because a lot of the legal cases we interviewed, the girls who are survivors, they went hostile because they just couldn't take the discrimination, the ostracization within the judiciary environment. So a lot of things has to do with also discrimination, freedom for girls. Because I think one of the things that's really difficult is, girls, when they are empowered, they want change. And I think the family and society, there is a friction between the girls and them, because they want freedom and the other side, they don't want to give them freedom. So I think that's also something that we have been trying to working with the community also, to understand and to support the girls. The other part is like even girls who are out of school, who have working with income generation or working with the skill development. Well, the other issue is girl-child marriage. This is something that we have been working on, and also it's an issue that has been raised by the girls themselves, that they should not have they should not marry when they're young, because it has so many implications in terms of violence, in terms of their education, in terms of their health, so on and so forth. So that's also something that's really, really important to work with both the girls as well as with the community to really prevent it. So it's not only with the girls we work with wider community to address it. So these are a few issues.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, Eric, sir, how do you feel about the initiations and projects that are being worked in our Nepal? So how do you feel about these projects?
I think the most impressive part is the participation and the leadership of girls and women. And I think that men like this is a day where men like Sven and I should remind ourselves that we sometimes should step down and give the microphone, the power to girls and to women, because I don't believe in a change without girls being involved. And what I see here in Nepal is impressive. You do have challenges. Some of them we don't have in my countries, others we also have. But the fact that you actually work with girls to create a movement is important to support activism. is important, because we have to remember that if a country is to progress, we can't just use half of its competence and half of its skills. Of course, this is about power, this is about discrimination, this is about justice, but it's also about taking advantage of all the competence in the countries. And if we keep girls down, it's unfair, it's discrimination, but it's not good for the country either, because it means we just use half of its population. And so I think for Nepal to move on, it's extremely important that women are on board. And I've heard that your new constitution is even more radical than ours, which I think it's great. We have things to learn from you, and that's fantastic.
Thank you so much. So Eric sir, so why did you choose radio takeover on this year?
Yeah. I think radio has offered, and I would like to thank Akorap for this partnership that we have set up on this day. Radio offers us the opportunity to reach nearly the entire country, nearly 90%. We have 300 takeovers taking place today. We will reach possibly nearly 90% of the population, and it creates a movement. Kjell Erik has mentioned this word movement, and that's important. None of us alone as actors is able to make changes. We can only make changes if we collaborate, if we partner, and if we create a critical mass. That's what we call a movement of people demanding change and working on that change. And that's where radio comes in, having that broad reach to everybody, not just policymakers, but the general public. People, communities, parents, general public, all of them are engaged in the changes that we want to see happening.
So lastly, can you please tell us the future plans of Plan International Nepal?
Well, I would like to add one thing, and if you ask us as an organization, one particular things for girls that we would like to work on as part of a movement is actually the eradication of child early and forced marriage in Nepal. I think this is one of our focus areas. It builds on capacity that we have built up globally in other parts of the world, and an initiative also we are provoking in Asia as a region, because Nepal, as well as other countries, are affected by child early and forced marriage. So that's one of the things that we would like to work upon and focus upon over the next 5 years. And even today, we're going to launch a portal, an information portal, an internet-based information portal where people can actually access information, can request questions about early and forced marriage, and hopefully that portal will also assist in reaching a wide population and creating a movement for the eradication of child early and forced marriage.
So thank you so much, Anjana ma'am, Eric sir, and Sven sir, for your valuable time in answering our questions. So we'll end this program. प्लान इन्टरनेशनल नेपाल र सामुदायिक रेडियो प्रसारक संघको संयोजनमा CINले तयार पारेको कार्यक्रम जीवन रक्षा बाल सुरक्षाको विशेष भागमा बिदा हुने समय भइसकेको छ। तपाईलाई कार्यक्रम कस्तो लाग्यो? सल्लाह सुझाव एवं प्रतिक्रिया छन् भने हाम्रो टेलिफोन नम्बर 0152 साथी 661 मा फोन गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ। पत्राचारका लागि हाम्रो ठेगाना हो कार्यक्रम जीवन रक्षा बाल सुरक्षा, पोस्ट बक्स नम्बर 19324 काठमाडौँ। हाम्रो इमेल ठेगाना हो sajaKhabar@gmail.com। हवस् त, हामी जस्तै सबै किशोरीहरूलाई विशिष्ट भूमिका वहन गर्ने अवसर प्राप्त होस् भन्ने शुभकामना सहित रेडियो कार्यक्रम सुन्नुहुने सबैलाई धन्यवाद। प्राविधिक साथी सुनिल राज भारतलाई धन्यवाद दिँदै म सज्जु महर्जन पनि बिदा हुन्छु। नमस्कार।